G'day guys, Kira here, and this is my update review of a pair of boots. In fact, it's an update of these, my Lowa Z8 GTX, Z8-S GTX to be precise. I've done an article before on these. I did an article a couple of months after getting them. That was back in 2018. I'd had them a couple of months at that point. I got them sort of the beginning of the summer, ready to go for a... basically, I bought them on the day that I was going down to the Tirata long range shoot, Simon Gillis, one of Gillis' practical rifle events. So I basically picked them up, put them on my feet, drove down, spent the day walking around the hillside with them, promptly fell in love with the things, and have been wearing them nearly every day since. And when I say wearing them nearly every day since, I mean nearly every day. So for a long time, these were my only pair of shoes, these or boots, or these or a pair of jandals, basically. So if I was heading out to the beach or something like that, I'd wear jandals, but a lot of the time I kind of headed away from wearing jandals. I didn't like the idea of losing my shoes. And just like something a little bit more solid. So yeah, these things got worn. I mean, it's probably fair to say these have been worn 365 days for at least three and a half years. So high use. They're not a weekend. They haven't been a weekend boot for me. They've been pretty much every single day, and man, they've held out well, and I've just loved them. But they are at the end of their life, and that is because, well, a couple of things. The tread on them, if we can see the light, oh yeah, there we go. The tread on them is getting pretty, tread bare, so I have noticed recently they're starting to slip a little bit, but that's because there's virtually no tread on the heels or the front of these, which is fine. The big issue has been, though, is that they're coming apart here. So they've actually started to split here. They're cracking in here, they're cracking at the back of it. Basically, they're starting to, I don't know if the right term would be delaminate or separate from the boot itself, which means that there is water tending to get in a little bit quicker than it used to be, although, to be honest, I can still kind of run through puddles through them and not have too much of an issue. The uppers on them, I mean, they're showing the wear, they're showing where the laces have pretty much started to polish on the tongue of the boot. But other than that, I mean, these things have been pretty much flawless, The insoles are pretty mank, but that's because I have never swapped them out and I don't feel I need to. There's nothing wrong with them. And these things have just been phenomenal. So, still super comfortable, they're perfectly molded to my foot at this point, and while I'd love to almost kind of replace just the sole of them, I don't think I can. I'll talk to the guys out lower and see if this bottom part can just be replaced. But because it's sort of molded, I don't know if it's an option. If it is, then I may have, another couple of years out of them. They're fantastic. So, recently I picked up another pair of footwear, and I was kind of looking for a shoe because I'd been wearing a boot a lot, and, sometimes I wear jeans or I wear shorts, and boots all the time gets a little bit maybe over the top. So I was kind of struggling with what shoe to buy, and I went out and tried a few different shoes, and in the end, funnily enough, I ended up with a pair of these, which is the GTX Low. So it's another low. It's basically very similar in design to this, but it's just the shoe version, and lo and behold, they've been awesome as well. It took me a while to get used to the fact that my ankle is now exposed to the world, but other than that, these things are great as well. They get banged around, they get, they're Gore-Tex lined again, so these are waterproof, bar the giant hole at the top because it's a shoe. But yeah, I mean, I really just can't say enough about these things. They've been phenomenal. I've gone through a pair of laces on them. The laces snapped. I just bought another pair and swapped them out. None of the eyelets have failed on me. There's no holes, like I said, in the leather itself. They've never really soaked out. Well, so what happens is I've treated them semi-regularly. I've cleaned them and occasionally covered them with the boot care gel, whatever it is. But honestly, I haven't really had to do much with these things at all. So it's a gushing review or a long-term review, if you want to call it that, but I don't really have anything to say that's bad about them. I mean, they're not cheap. These are probably some of the most expensive boots I've had, but considering, like I said, I've nearly worn them every day for at least 3 years, I think they've fared pretty well. I don't have any issue with that amount of wear of them. So, you know, the question is, what am I going to replace them with? Well, to be honest, I'm going to buy another pair of them. It's going to be that simple. I'm thinking I might get the nubuck version. There is a black one with like the nubuck leather, which is not a polished leather, but it's just slightly more than this, and really just for something different. It's the only real reason. But yeah, these things have been absolutely phenomenal. So, I mean, if you're considering getting yourself a pair, jumping into a pair of premium boots, but you don't need big alpine boots, you know, there's no heavy shank, they're flexible. These to me still are the perfect North Island field shooting, hunting, general use boot. There's my update, man. Go buy a pair, they're worth the money. I'm getting another pair. I'm not really bothering to look at much else, to be honest, because I don't know what they could do that would be better.